Teenagers are not immune to deep depression. The warning signs to watch out for, and the story of a young girl who conquered that problem.
And tonight, representatives from the Adam H. system of care in our community are in studio taking your calls about mental illnesses like depression, ADHD, schizophrenia. In Columbus, call 821-1010. If you're outside the area, toll free 877-220-1010. And we'll be right back. Teens and depression, how someone so young can feel so hopeless.
Thinking dramatically and I just didn't know or see any way out of it at all. It was hopeless.
How this teen survived her struggle with depression, plus the warning signs every parent should be able to recognize. When Jerry, Chris, and I come right back. Teenagers, they're known for wild mood swings. Sometimes seems like they're glum for days. But the National Institutes of Mental Health says more than 10% of the time, those dark days signal a serious depression that requires professional help.
If it wasn't for counseling, I probably wouldn't have made it.
Jasmine Hairston says it wasn't so long ago that her life was almost too much to handle. She seemed to be a happy child until she was 12, and her mother began to drink.
My oldest brother, he kind of kept it together when it comes to making ends meet with the bills or, food and stuff like that.
But for a girl who loved to read, loved poetry,
I keep the kids out and listen behind me.
It wasn't enough.
Then you come home to a household where you really don't have nobody to talk to or express your thoughts, your feelings, or your day about, or two, it made it even more worse.
She says her brothers turned to drugs to numb themselves, so she did too.
If that's what's working for them, to not be crying or to be sad, then, why not?
Jasmine was in a deep depression.
I don't even think you can really call it depression because lost hope is to me, I think, way deeper and worse.
Growing up in adolescence is a very tumultuous time.
Dr. Catherine Burns, medical director for Adam H., the Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board, says all of us have days when we're sad, but a clinical depression lasts for weeks or months.
It's a change in sleep. It's a change in appetite pattern, so that results in weight loss. It's the person no longer participating in the things that they used to participate in and enjoy.
Jasmine got help through a counselor at Directions for Youth. Now she sees hope, life, a future for herself.
Definitely for sure going to go to college.
Now, while there is a shortage of child psychiatrists here in Central Ohio, Dr. Burns says there are plenty of good psychologists and counselors who can help. In emergencies, NetCare and local hospitals also step in. Now, if you or your loved ones need some help, it is just a phone call away tonight. These representatives from Adam H. are in our studio with us taking your calls about mental illnesses like depression, ADHD, whatever's on your mind, maybe even seasonal affective disorder. In Columbus, the number to call 821-1010. Or toll free 877-220-1010.
And we have a reminder, representatives with the Adam H. system of care are taking your calls and answering your questions about mental health. Call 614-821-1010 or 1-877-220-1010.
And a reminder, representatives with the Adam H. system of care are answering questions about mental health tonight. You can call those numbers 614-821-1010 or toll free 877-220-1010. And we'll be right back.
Tonight, we are helping people cope with depression. Our phone bank is packed and the calls are coming in with experts here to answer your questions. We're also sharing stories from people like Malcolm Jones. He's making a name for himself in the local art scene and uses art to deal with mental illness. He found help through the Southeast Mental Health Center where counselors encouraged his art.
I abandoned it for many years while being homeless and going through a chemical dependency and all. I needed new direction.
Malcolm is preparing for a show at the Fresh Air Gallery on May 18th. And again, members of the Adam H. system of care are answering the phones this evening to get you connected with the help that you need. In Columbus, call 821-1010. If you are outside the area, call toll free 1-877-220-1010.
Many families